Welcome, everybody. Welcome to I'd say Ecliptic Spiritualist. But as you know, we've revamped and are now the Crisis Psychic. So I'm Ronnita. Welcome to the live. I'll give you a few minutes to get your notifications that we're here live. As promised last week, we came live, which I came live, sharing about the season of the witch and how important it is for us to understand that, what timeline we in, but most importantly, what aspects is it play in each of us individually. So I'll give you a few minutes to come into the chat, know that I'm here and that the algorithm will let you know that we're here. So as you enter the chat, go on and put a pumpkin because as this live is coming to you this day on the 19th of September, it is entering into fall, autumn equinox, which will be on the 20th starting in. So I'll have a video up for that. So stay tuned. But this is a good teaching video that will give you some guidelines about it is the season of the witch, guided to talk about that. And which goddess are you? And because as a goddess, you can be several parts of the goddess uh, trio, or it's a triple goddess or a tribute. You can be either one of them. Okay. But today we're going to talk about the maiden aspect. Okay. And so again, I'm Ronnita and I'm the Crisis Psychic. Welcome to the channel. My website is https double colon slash slash crisispsychic.com. Okay. And so to make sure that you know who I am, I've been on YouTube for now is 7 years. So welcome to our 7 year anniversary here as well. We are so happy that we have reached as a family over here 500,000 views. So we have reached over almost a half a million views for the past 7 years. So as you enter the chat, go on and put a pumpkin there to let me know that you have arrived and so much more. Okay. So as we enter right now, I see there's a couple people in. And you can always hit the replay, but I'm going to talk about the maiden aspect. But before we get started, I'm going to show you a couple of things right now. It is autumn season. So if you go by your local store, there is a couple of little items in the shut this down in the Walmart that has some really cool items for fall. So if you like to get your fall fix, your witchy fix with all the items, and of course we use our things all year, at least I do. These are a couple of things I picked up. They're so cute, scented. This one says I'll put a spell on you. This was at Walmart before we get in, and it smells like warm fall leaves. Okay, so this can be part of your altar space if I can get that camera right. Yeah. Okay. And then there's another one that I picked up called Magic Potion, and it smells like cider. Very cute. Okay. So that's at Walmart. Check your local Walmarts for your items, for your altar space, for the fall season coming in. And I'll share a couple of witchy things or autumn fall things as we enter into the next couple of months and do the live. Okay. So so just to reiterate, I'm Ranita and I'm going to get into this. Okay. So I want to talk to you about, as I mentioned last week, the maiden. There's three goddesses, is a triple goddess energy. And so I am going to reference my notes so I stay on track. And so this will help you to understand the goddess energy. Now, as far as goddesses, it doesn't matter what gender you are, what outer gender you are. It is what it is. Okay. You can have this aspect in you. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody has this goddess energy in them. Everybody does not. Okay. Everybody has their own gifts, but I wanted to introduce about this triple goddess. And so some people will have certain aspects, but not everybody will reach or be in Chrome aspect. Okay, it's based off of your wisdom, your knowledge, and how much experience you're working through your spiritual journey. If you're in the chat, please put a pumpkin or hey, Ronnita, that you're here. Okay, so the triple goddess comes from way back. Is the major goddesses that are three. We have the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Okay. And so I'm going to get into about the maiden. And the maiden is all about following all three, is all about in alignment with the phases of the moon. Okay. So you must be recognize the phases of the moon. We have several phases that our moon goes through. And so you want to be knowledgeable of that. And the reason why is that that will help you see where you are, where you activate certain gifts as either a maiden, mother, or crone. Also, it can also align itself in um, paying attention with your cycle as well. If you are have a cycle, you can see your body lines up with the phases of the moon. All right. If you're in the chat, please make sure that you're going to make a comment. You can put a pumpkin or hey, Ronnita, I'm here. Okay. So the maiden aspects align with the crescent. The maiden aligns herself with the crescent waxing phase of the moon, and it represents the youthful phase of a woman's life. Now, a youthful phase of a woman's life can be any area of their life. The Virgo sign, the symbolism for it is the maiden. Okay, and that's a good time while this is coming in for this topic. All right, so it's about the youthful aspect. This is a time where in a woman's life there's a time for growth, reflected by the waxing of the moon, and as it moves towards its fullness, and the cycles of the nature of the maiden associated with the maiden is associated with dawn, sunrise, and spring season. Okay, so the maiden is associated with that. I'm going to put in the chat, welcome, welcome. I'm going to put in the chat that so you'll know. Okay, and you can always put this in rewind. But the maiden represents the dawn. She represents sunrise. And she represents spring. Okay, spring season. Okay, typing that in. All right, and the maiden also represents, and after I look at my notes, I'm going to elaborate on it a little more. The maiden represents the beauty, fresh, and potential in new life. In human beings, she's associated with the qualities of innocence, youth, self-confidence, intelligence, and independence, and with activities relating to exploration, discovery, self-expression, and creativity. Okay. So this is an important aspect. Now, to know that if you're a maiden, you'll see some of these things in yourself that I just explained. Some, and it doesn't matter, just to be clear, of a solidarity practitioner, a solidarity witch, and a solidarity practitioner as myself. You don't necessarily just giving you from a person with a lot of experience. You don't necessarily have to be associated with a particular deity to be a maiden, mother, or crone, because there's different styles of a practitioner. Okay. And so some practitioners don't work with goddesses at all, not even aware of that. Some goddesses, some maidens don't. Okay. Some maidens do, because some maidens may be elemental practitioners, cosmic practitioners, or non-deity association whatsoever. So you don't necessarily have to be associated with a goddess. All right. Make sure you comment in the chat. Let me know that you're here. So if you feel that you're in your maiden aspect, let me know in the comments down below. The next time I do a video, I'll talk about the mother aspect of and then the next one I'll go into the aspect of crone. But maiden is an important aspect of one's life. with being a maiden, you can still have a child and still be in a maiden phase. Okay. You can still be in the maiden phase. It's still this innocence aspect. It's still this youthful aspect because it's not as grown into a different aspect of wisdom in the spirituality. Okay. And as a maiden, if you fall into that aspect of your spirituality as a goddess in that energy, you do want to pay attention to the crescent waxing of the moon because that's where you get a lot of your energy from. And that crescent aspect is right after new moon, as you start to get that slither of the new moon giving some light, then you'll start to see the crescent aspect, and that's the waxing, which is the maiden aspect of the moon. Okay, and so maiden brings in, it could be the early child aspect, meaning of teens. A maiden can represent a person in their teens, in their and whatever, and always even later in the aspect of the aging process, outer physical aging aspect. Why? Because they may be in a more beginning stage in spirituality. So the maiden part of a person is not necessarily the character or the aging aspect of the outer self, but the aspect of what, where they are on their spiritual journey. Okay. It's like kind of like a toddler in a way, but not. Okay. So comment down below if you're familiar with this. It's a very important to understand it. I believe that in the autumn season, which we're entering into as this video live is in, it's important to take time to journal, to look at where you may be on your spiritual journey if you're a maiden. To also do a lot of studying, self-studying, be a strong solidarity practitioner or solidarity witch or whatever you call yourself, or not. You don't have to have the title. To study yourself, to study and show yourself approved, rightly dividing your word of truth. So your truth would be studying the maiden, putting those things into action, and the action aspect will come into the intentions of manifestation. If you are working that aspect of your life and your spirituality of a maiden, then you can grow into mother and crone. Okay. But if you're lax on your spiritual journey, then you will always be bouncing back and forth into a beginning aspect of the maiden goddess area. Because why? You're not grooming yourself to grow in your spirituality. Okay. I love you for watching. Comment down below where you are in your aspect of your goddesshood, and I will see you later. Bye bye.